Have you ever wanted to feel like a 5,000 IQ genius? That is what mobile game ad producers are preying on when they serve you those ads where it's like you got to save the guy by pulling some things out and the person in the ad is stupid and gets him killed every time. Today we're watching a video from Fat Dino where he's going to actually make one of those games rather than whatever farming game or some generic Clash of Clans knockoff those mobile games actually are. So let's check it out.
Oh, this looks like a fun game. I wanna play it. Well, that's... I'm doing.
That doesn't even look like gameplay. That just looks like they took a video. Come on, guys. They didn't even try to make it look like a real game.
That's not what I expected.
Right?
Okay, I will do it myself. Let's create an empty Unreal Engine project. I quickly made a simple character and set up camera to behave like in a side-scroller type of...
This already looks a little bit more advanced than the mobile game ads, but we'll see where he goes with it. Going in Unreal with a nice 3D running character.
The most crucial part of the game is all sorts of fluids. This whole project was actually inspired by a Niagara system.
Yeah, I guess these mobile game ads, they play really well on video because that whole fluid thing looks cool. But making this for real would be a little complicated because you really do need some working fluid dynamics. Whoever created Where's My Water could probably have done it, but most of the people who are making these knockoff Bejeweled games, I don't think they could handle it.
Let me enable Niagara plugin from Epic Games and show you some of the templates.
Warning.
Water, fire, gas, and smoke. Niagara can do it all.
That looks really cool, and also I feel like those are three things that I've seen in those mobile game ads. Save them from the fire, save them from the water, save them from some toxic fart gas.
Looks very impressive out of
Don't forget to subscribe to save the guy.
Config fluids can even collide with meshes. This plugin is still in beta, and maybe it's not 100% accurate, but I can see how all of it can be used in some sort of cool puzzles and traps and all that. But if I really want to use it, I need to dive right in. After a couple of days, this thing is just huge. I made some sort of wrapper for Niagara water. It encapsulates Niagara particle system with easy access to all the parameters I'll need in my project. In the process of making this, I didn't always find a way to make it work like I want to, so there are a few workarounds I had to do.
That does look like the ads where the way the water flows off of the plane. We'll see when he does one that has actual like curves to it and stuff.
It's similar wrapper for Niagara smoke. I can use my API to configure it for my purposes. The next step will be to make some of the puzzle components so I can design a bunch of cool puzzles with Niagara fluids. Let's start from this sort of pins. In the ads, you usually need to pull a pin to save the good guy, kill the bad guy, you name it.
Yes.
I made similar pin in my project but in 3D. I call it gate. They are ugly inside with a bunch of mud, but they do work pretty well.
Honestly, that might be the most organized Unreal blueprint. It's kind of what happens when you have to work with visual nodes.
They do work pretty well in the game.
It looks cool.
It's a pretty customizable part. I can freely rotate and scale them. Gates work with any sort of Niagara fluids. I also decided to add bad guys to the game. They are not really smart. I made a simple algorithm so they move forward till they hit an obstacle, and then turn around. In a combination with gates, it might lead to some interesting puzzles in future. It's not quite working yet, but if an enemy sees you, you will lose and probably will have to restart, so don't get caught.
You've been caught!
Another small addition is interactable buttons. I can use gates to press it and start an event. For example, to move another gate.
Okay, we started from a mobile game ad and we're very quickly moving into an actual interesting puzzle game that goes beyond a mobile game ad. Not complaining though. Honestly, that's what you would hope when you download the mobile game ad, that they showed you something to get you in, but then this whole like moving pins around actually has more layers than save the guy.
Finally, I added what I call a spike trap. You better watch out and don't step on anything suspicious.
Okay, thankfully they kept it PG-13. Not too much violence around here, Fat Dino, alright?
The trap also works with enemies, which again may lead to some interesting puzzles. I then spent some time and designed several puzzles involving water and smoke. There are some limitations in terms of what information I could get from Niagara particle systems. For example, I can't really get information about collisions, or at least it is...
Oh, collision, he just means like there's no way to track whether something is touching one of the fluids or not. If you can't tell about collisions, that's going to be really hard to do half of these puzzles, because a lot of the puzzles are about someone falling into the acid, or acid falling on a guy, or fire getting on a guy. So I want to know how he gets around doing that, because for the ones where it's like water falls onto some fire thing and makes a rock, how would you be able to tell if you don't have any kind of collision?
After I had all it done on paper, I started to implement them
Oh,
in
I love
Unreal
this art
Engine.
design too.
The idea was to have a giant laboratory involved in some unethical experiments with dinosaurs. While making the environment,
Yeah, because Fat Dino, or Fat Dino. I don't know if he's Fat Dino or Fat Dino, I'll be honest. Someone told me Dino, so I'll stick with that for now. But yeah, dinosaurs.
usual used a lot of 3D assets from Unreal's marketplace.
Yep.
I have the first floor done, so I can show you some of the rooms.
Let's check it
This
out.
is the entrance where the game starts. You then proceed to the lab rooms with actual puzzles in it. First level will be all about water puzzles. I tried to incrementally raise the difficulty when you progress. I don't wanna spoil all the puzzles just yet, but I used all of
Come
the
on, we
parts
gotta
I
spoil
made
it.
before. All sorts of gates, buttons, doors, enemies, and of course Niagara systems. I proceeded
go.
to make a second level. It is supposed to be some sort of underground warehouse for the laboratory.
Those assets he picked up do look
I
nice.
decided it will be all about smoke puzzles.
Oh, the smoke pipe. That is so cool. I want to see this gameplay. I just want to see the gameplay, my friend.
Finally, I made the last, third level, a one giant puzzle involving everything player has learned in previous levels. The foundation for puzzles was done, so after a session of bug fixing, I started to add more details to the environment, fixing lighting, post-process effects and other stuff.
Right now it looks like an Xbox 360 game, but I'm sure he can bring it up to, I don't know, Xbox One, maybe PS4. Here we go. That is a little loud. I don't know if it's gonna be loud for y'all, but I gotta turn it down for me. Oh, he's watching. Is that he, you? I hope he makes some kind of change to the enemies so you can at least determine that they're separate from your guy. These environments are looking a lot more interesting. Is that a pentagram? Watch out. We don't.
I changed the model of the enemies to be more appropriate for that,
That's like
and
what I
made
just
them
said.
actually mortal. I changed the player's model as well. I honestly just grabbed the first decent looking model from my library. And
how it
apparently
goes.
the guy has spurs now. I was also thinking about straight up adding a dinosaur to his second level. He's like broke free from experiments and now wandering
we
here,
go.
but I don't know, it looked so cursed I decided to leave it as is. After fixing a
wanted to
portion
see
of
it.
new bugs, I was done with designing levels. But none of those puzzles actually work. You can literally ignore everything and move through.
No.
So I implemented an event system, which allows me to quickly script every single puzzle. I can simply drag and drop children of my event class and configure them so every puzzle is 100% functional. For example, I can tell which
Really?
event should be proceeded when players open a gate, a door, etc. It does look a bit messy, but now all of these puzzle parts actually do something. The game making you think you are interacting with slime or smoke, while it's not the case at all. I already mentioned that
I guess it's okay if the player can't tell, but it's kind of lame. You'd want it to be actually physics-based and actually determined based on the fluids and the smoke and stuff. That's fine. This is kind of game development, though. I mean, gameplay can be an illusion as long as it's a fun illusion.
I really tried to make a workaround and pretend like player interacting with fluids, while in reality, it's all just clever use of timers, events, and whatnot. It does look pretty believable though. But let's talk performance. and it is absolutely terrible. I'm getting probably close to like 20 FPS with RTX 3080, but do we really need all these smokes enabled at the same time? No,
Just
not
turn
at
them on
all.
based on what's
I
in
can
view.
activate only one, maybe two particle systems simultaneously, the ones you can see on the screen at the same time. And when the player
Yes.
progresses through the level, I can deactivate all particles, which are not on the screen already, and activate new ones, which player can see at the moment. This did make
Very
the trick
clever.
and boosted my performance quite a bit. It still doesn't have the best performance, but that's just because even two smoke emitters on the screen make my PC lag. Fluid
I mean, though, that smoke is really advanced. It's funny because the smoke looks so much better than everything else that's on the screen, but there has to be so many little individual particles to make the smoke look so good.
calculation is very expensive and plugin is still in beta, so it is what it is. Next thing needed to be fixed is a restart feature. If you die or want to restart the puzzle for some reason, you are forced to close the whole game and open it again. I made a small restart button and now you can press it to reset your character, enemies, fluid systems and so on. If you fail, you can just try again. I also made and added a custom cursor. Looks pretty cool. If you remember, we still have scuffed enemies which do nothing if you've been caught. Well, not anymore. I made a special UI element and added some animations, so you can be caught correctly now, and can also restart the puzzle. Enemies will only see you if they face you, can't see with their back.
Oh, just like everybody.
I also decided to completely get rid of camera management. It was a really cool feature to have for testing, but when playing, I really do prefer static camera.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to keep it, again, similar to these mobile game ads, it's like, there's no reason for us to have control of the camera. Literally just pan between each individual puzzle, which is its own scene by itself.
Which scrolls between puzzles. It also means that I can set up camera for each puzzle separately, so the player will see everything I want them to see. I finally finished the last level, adding a secret room at the end full of dinosaurs eggs. And one of the final details is to yank the whole lab. My lab now. And of course, I added sounds for all the things. Footsteps, jumps, doors, gates.
It's like a video game, sounds like a video game.
And just a bunch of random noises. Slap the spooky music on top, and I can finally play a puzzle game from misleading mobile game ads.
Let's go.
I obviously already know how to solve the puzzles, but I will try to show you the thought process. If you really want to, you can even pause the video and try to solve them yourself before watching the solution. You probably have seen the first puzzle dozens of times already. Do not get close to the door, it will open. Instead, drain the slime first.
Yes. We might pause on some of these depending on how difficult they look. Okay. Right now it's like 10 IQ to get that one. This looks like a very similar puzzle of open each door in sequence to drain the slime all the way out and then go.
The door is locked, so I need to get rid of the slime somehow.
Oh, there's floors. Okay, yeah. Drop the floor. Maybe open the doors, drop the floor. Something like that. Okay, yeah,
Now we're talking.
This does seem like, okay, I can kind of see how for this kind of thing you can have a very specific solution. So you're just checking whether people open the doors in the right order. Where the fluid technically is does not matter. So the gameplay might be fine even without any actual fluid collisions. Do not enter. Do not enter, my friend.
You can see a hole with slime, special box holder, and the gate covering the smoke. If you use the gate to make a safe path, the smoke will block the way.
Oh.
What you can do though, is to use a box to block the smoke.
Ah, that looks pretty cool too. I like it.
Okay, this is quite a big puzzle, but it's not that complicated. If you try to jump down, you will press one of the buttons and something will happen. Looks like you can't get into the elevator, so let's try to push the second button.
Sound is getting a little loud here.
Indeed, the path is clear now. The only problem is that you can't get out.
Now, can you drop fluid on the button? That doesn't seem like it would
what
work.
if I try to press the second button with the pressure of falling slime? It did work, but let's stay in a safe place this time.
Again, I can't tell. I cannot tell looking at it that the fluid is not actually working and that he's doing workarounds.
In the last puddle, if I blow the smoke first, I can't really do anything with the guard.
Yeah.
What if I use the fan beforehand to kill him?
If you're gonna need him for no. See, I spotted it. You got a spike trap right there to get him. You didn't catch me. Then when we got up to 130 IQ, that's when the real ones come out, all right? I see you, Dino. If you saw it too, again, don't forget you have to subscribe. You're the high IQ one.
Okay, we also have a spike trap to deal with. Seems like we can kill the guard and block the spike trap.
Ah, there we go. Oh, wait, but then you didn't do the
But wait a
Move
minute,
it out the
how do
way
I
for-
pass the smoke now? The gate is blocked, so I can't move it.
Mhm.
What you should do is kill the guard, block the smoke, block the spike trap,
Yep.
and move forward.
Bada bing. Again, perfectly captures the spirit of those mobile game ads. This is exactly what
To the final room with a bunch of suspiciously looking eggs. Oh, looks like I can interact with one of them.
Oh, what do we get? Is it a jump scare?
I mean, yeah, I know it's a stupid ending. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video.
Shout out to Fat Dino. This video was pretty cool. I really like Fat Dino's videos and what he does with visual fidelity and the stuff he does on Unreal. This concept is really nice. It honestly really makes me want to try something like this because the game concept is really cool. And even though it plays fine, I would really want to see what you could do to make sure that the fluids actually work and that you're not doing workarounds. Either way, though, no disrespect to him for doing it that way. It works, and the game looks pretty fun. So you can go ahead and check out his video. I'm going to link it up here, and then he'll have a link to download the game as well. I don't know, maybe I'll put that down in the description if you guys wanted to check it out, even though you just got spoiled. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. See you guys later.